Right then, how are we all doing? So, what is visual line of sight? We can see all this beautiful sky and we can go and fly in that, can't we? Now, on the box of my drone it says I can do 8 kilometres, but the CA say that we have to operate within visual line of sight. So, first off, think of it like your car. Your car can do 120 miles an hour, you drive to the speed limit. So, you know, your drone can do a lot further than the distances we're talking, but legally don't. So, operating within visual line of sight basically means that the remote pilot must be able to clearly see the unmanned aircraft and the surrounding airspace at all times while it is airborne. So you've got to be able to see the aircraft in that big open sky up there, so you can take avoiding action. So the key requirement of any flight is to avoid collisions, and a visual line of sight operation ensures that the remote pilot is able to monitor the aircraft and its flight path, and so manoeuvre it clear of anything that it might collide with, be it a tree, a power line, another aircraft. Basically, if you can see it, you should be able to take avoiding action. So you are allowed to use corrective lenses, so glasses, contact lenses are permitted, binoculars and telescopes and any other form of image enhancing devices are not permitted. So in its most basic terms, you've got to be able to see it with the remote pilot's eyes, or you can have a spotter stood next to you and they have to be able to inform the remote pilot of any inbound aircraft or any issues. So you can have a spotter with you, that is permitted. But you've got to be, again, the spotter has to be able to stood with the remote pilot and has to be able to see the aircraft while it's flying. The CA will normally accept that visual line of sight requirement is met when the unmanned aircraft is flown out to a distance of 500 metres horizontally from the remote pilot, but only if the aircraft can be seen at this distance. So if you're flying a Mavic 2 Pro, 500 metres is possible. Phantom 4 Pro, 500 metres, that's possible. However, a Mini 2, no chance. I know people are going to tell me, and we're going to get stuff in the comments, well, I fly at night and I've got a strobe on it. Yes, a strobe and flying at night is different. In the daytime, it's different. So different conditions will mean different visual line of sight parameters will be there. But there's no way that you can see a Mini out beyond around 500. You know, you'll never see a Mini at 500 metres. Once it gets beyond about 250, most people, not a cat in house chance. And yes, I know what it says on the box. Remember, like I said at the beginning, think of it like a car. Car can do 120 miles an hour, but legally you're stuck at 70, so same applies. Now, operating at height, you're still limited to your 400 feet or 120 metres from the closest point of the Earth's surface. Now, there is a bit of an exception, and that is if your aircraft is large, so let's say you're flying a fixed wing and it's automated and it's 2 metre wingspan, or you're flying FPV and you've got a plane that's 2 metre wingspan and your spotter can see it out to 1 kilometre, that's legal as long as you can take the avoiding action. But you've got to be able to see the aircraft to take avoiding action. That is it in a nutshell. That is what visual line of sight is all about. Right, that's it then. That's it for this one. Yes, everyone I know flies to visual line of sight, and yes, I know everyone that's broken this rule. It is one of the, I think this is probably the most common rule that's broken out of all the drone stuff at all, to be honest. But you know, no one's died, no, there's not been any big fireballs, and no planes have come crashing out the sky yet. So visual line of sight, stick to it, make sure you're following the rules, and fly safe, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.